We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Welcome to Sarah's Self-Discipline, a channel about discipline, mindset, focus, powerful habits, and the ideas that can help you take control of your life. Now, imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing something uncomfortable. Many of the things you do every day are not actually decisions. You reach for your phone without thinking. You check social media when you feel bored. You eat when you're stressed, even when you're not hungry. You procrastinate when a difficult task appears. And sometimes you promise yourself that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow comes, and you repeat the same behavior. Why? Charles Duhigg's book, The Power of Habit, explains something that can completely change the way you see self-discipline. Your habits are not random. They follow a pattern. And once you understand that pattern, you can begin to change it. The habit loop. According to Duhigg, many habits operate through three basic parts. Cue, routine, reward. First comes the cue. Something triggers your behavior. It could be boredom, stress, loneliness, tiredness, a particular time of day, or even a specific location. Then comes the routine. That's the behavior you perform. You open your phone. You eat junk food. You avoid your work. You watch another video. You stay in bed for another 30 minutes. Finally comes a reward. Your brain receives something it wants. Maybe it's entertainment. Maybe it's relief from stress. Maybe it's pleasure. Maybe it's simply the feeling of avoiding something difficult. And this is where the cycle becomes powerful. Your brain starts connecting the cue with the reward. Eventually, you don't need to consciously decide anymore. The behavior becomes automatic. That's why simply telling yourself, I need more discipline, often doesn't solve the problem. You are trying to fight an automatic system with willpower alone. Your brain loves familiar patterns. Think about the first time you learned to perform a new activity. It required concentration. But after repeating it enough times, you stopped thinking about every individual step. Your brain became efficient. This is useful. Without habits, everyday life would require enormous mental effort. But there's a problem. Your brain doesn't automatically distinguish between a good habit and a destructive habit. If you repeatedly reward yourself for procrastinating, your brain can learn procrastination. If you repeatedly reward yourself for exercising, your brain can learn exercise. If you repeatedly reward yourself for checking your phone whenever you're uncomfortable, your brain can learn that too. Your brain learns what you repeatedly teach it. And that means your current life may be partly the result of habits you have been training for months or even years. The real secret. Identify the cue. So how do you change a bad habit? Start by observing it. Instead of simply saying, I need to stop scrolling, ask, what happens immediately before I start scrolling? Are you bored, stressed, working on something difficult, feeling lonely, trying to avoid an uncomfortable thought? The behavior may not be the real problem. The behavior may be your brain's solution to a deeper trigger. This is why awareness comes before change. You cannot control a pattern you haven't identified. Don't just remove the habit. Here's where many people fail. They try to completely eliminate a habit without replacing what it provides. Suppose you constantly check your phone when you're stressed. You tell yourself, from today, no more phone. But the stress remains. The boredom remains. The desire for relief remains. Eventually, the old routine becomes tempting again. Instead, keep the cue and reward in mind, but change the routine. When stress appears, instead of opening social media, take a short walk. Instead of eating impulsively, drink water and step away for a few minutes. Instead of escaping difficult work, commit to working for just 5 minutes. You are teaching your brain a new response. Small habits become powerful. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. In fact, trying to change everything at once can overwhelm you. Start with one behavior. Wake up and immediately make your bed. Read 5 pages. Exercise for 10 minutes. Write down your 3 most important tasks. Put your phone away while working. These actions may seem insignificant, but repetition is what gives them power. One disciplined action doesn't transform your life. Repeated disciplined actions do. Over time, your behavior becomes easier because your brain becomes familiar with the pattern. And eventually, what once required motivation can begin to feel normal. The power of belief. There's another important lesson from the power of habit. Changing habits isn't only about changing behavior. You also need to believe that change is possible. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm lazy, I have no discipline, I'll always be like this, you are reinforcing an identity around your behavior. Instead, think differently. Don't say, you need to become disciplined. Say, you are practicing discipline every day. That small shift matters. You don't need to become a completely different person tomorrow. You need to repeatedly prove to yourself that you can keep promises to yourself. Every time you choose a difficult but meaningful action over the easy distraction, you strengthen that identity. Your life is built in repetition. Think about your current life, your health, your productivity, your attention span, your finances, your relationships, your confidence. Much of it is influenced by what you repeatedly do, and that's both frightening and empowering. Because if your habits help create your current reality, then changing your repeated behaviors can help create a different future. You don't need perfect motivation. You don't need to feel inspired every morning. You need systems that make the right action easier to repeat. So the next time you catch yourself repeating a behavior you don't like, don't immediately attack yourself. Pause. Ask, what triggered this? What routine are you repeating? What reward are you seeking? Then design a better response. Because self-discipline isn't simply about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about learning how your mind works and training it to work for you. Your habits are shaping your future, whether you pay attention to them or not. So make the choice consciously. Choose one habit today. Identify its cue, understand its reward, replace the routine, and repeat. Because eventually, the actions you struggle to perform today can become the behaviors you perform automatically tomorrow. You don't change your life in one dramatic moment. You change it through what you repeatedly do when nobody is watching. If this video gave you a new way to understand your habits and self-discipline, subscribe to Sarah's Self-Discipline. Like this video and comment below. I control my habits. Writing it is easy. The real challenge is proving it through your actions. Keep watching, keep learning, and most importantly, keep building the discipline that creates the life you want.